Hey, what's up guys? It's Rio here, back with another video. And in today's video, I want to talk about the number one thing that the fitness industry gets wrong. So while this video could go in many different directions from here, I really want to focus on the number one thing that I find that tends to make people stall or just be confused or not even want to start in whatever endeavor that is, whether that's fat loss, bodybuilding, strength training, or just general health. So you're probably wondering, what is that number one thing then? And in my opinion, that number one thing is how the vast majority of fitness influencers, and they pretty much just want to preach one specific thing, whether that's the keto diet, carnivore diet, or if it fits your macros, or that you have to do a certain number of reps and sets to get proper results, or that you have to do cardio to lose fat. So while all of those things may work for some people, or even most people, most of the time it's just not true that you have to follow this diet, or you have to do these amount of reps or sets, or that you have to do cardio to burn fat. And while I'm just giving a few examples, there's many other examples that I could give, but it's just not true that you have to do one specific thing to get those results that you're looking for. Now, just personally for me, I tend to almost always prioritize strength over muscle building. And so that's generally the lens that I'll look at most of my training, is to maximize strength gains. And whenever I focus on building more strength, the muscle gains will come as well. And while I understand why most of these fitness influencers push their certain methodology as hard as they do, and that reason is because it tends to get people to follow you because it sounds like you know what you're talking about, you may cite some studies, etc. And maybe you have plenty of results of your own to back up whatever you're claiming. But often I believe it does more harm than good, because nearly always there's more than one way to get the results that you're looking for. And for them to push really hard on one thing and maybe even trash another way of going about something is nearly always doing more harm than good. Now, I pretty much identify mostly as a power lifter. I love to focus more on strength and muscle building, but I also love to do calisthenics. It's still a strength-based type of skill. I'm not too much into the endurance side of things, but I do love a certain level of fitness. I love to keep a six-pack year-round and eat healthy and feel 100% all the time, except for after maybe a big heavy deadlift session. But one of the most important things that I've learned over the years is how all these different disciplines, bodybuilding, powerlifting, regular strength training, or calisthenics, all tie in together in some way. And pretty much every athlete in pretty much any sport, even including team sports like basketball or football or anything, can definitely learn something from someone else in, for example, bodybuilding, powerlifting. How they all tie in together, I find, is very intriguing. And if you just open your mind to it, I believe often the people that are the best are either very genetically gifted and or have learned how to incorporate more than one specific discipline. Like, for example, if they're a bodybuilder, they do some powerlifting in their off season to build some more strength. Or if they're a powerlifter, they know how to utilize the bodybuilding to gain a little bit more muscle, increase their leverage in the big three, or even incorporate some calisthenics and build some of those stabilizing muscles, those tendons and ligaments that you just don't get often with just regular weight training. Like, I've been in this industry for just about 20 years now, and I've seen how much things have changed, whether that's with how much cardio you should do, or if you need to do cardio at all, or what rep ranges you need to do, if you should train heavy or train lighter, etc., etc. And the truth is, people have been getting results 20 years ago, they've been getting results 10 years ago, and they continue getting results today. Now, as we continue to see more and more, you can pretty much find a study to back up almost any of your opinions and claims. So just because there's a study or two that may show some correlation to the training methodology or the diet advice that you like to give out as absolutes, it really doesn't mean all that much often. Now, I'm not making this video to bash on anyone specifically, but I just find it annoying and kind of short-sighted how hard some of these people push their specific thing. And of course, often what they're pushing does actually work and works well. But if they're going out of their way to shame someone else or telling you not to train a certain way or eat a certain way because basically it doesn't work when it actually does and you've been making progress, or a certain diet or training style looks like something that you would really enjoy to do and would be able to stick to, for them to go and trash whatever methodology that may be and act like there's only one way to get results, I believe often does more harm than good. So anyways, what I really want to say here is that if you find something that you believe will work for you and you can stay consistent at, that's the thing that you should stick to. And at the same time, keep an open mind to be able to keep learning. So anyways, the main point that I want to get across and what I want to portray with most of my videos here on YouTube is that you don't have to just train one way because that's what your favorite influencer says. or follow just one specific diet. You've got to find what you can stay consistent with, and you're going to get the results. People that preach there's only one way to get results are just plain short-sighted. Now, there are specific disciplines like dieting for a bodybuilding show. When you're at a certain level of body fat, you absolutely have to do cardio. If you just rely on lowering your calories or training a bit harder to burn more calories, you're probably going to be eating into your muscle stores. So there's exceptions to almost any rule, but so often there's at least a couple ways to get the results that you're looking for. If this kind of message resonates with you, and you're also tired of all the influencers that seem to stick to just one certain way of thinking and doing, and preaching like it's the only way that you're ever going to get results, consider giving my channel a follow. In future videos, I will be breaking down some of the different absolutes that I mentioned previously in this video, so stay tuned for those, as well as plenty of other content. Alright, that's about it for this video. I also have an Instagram that I'm very active on, and I love to share fitness and training advice on there. And one other thing that I'd like to mention is that I'm also a personal trainer / strength coach, both in person and online. So if you're looking for training or fitness advice, feel free to drop a comment below or DM me on Instagram. If this video was interesting for you, consider giving it a like, as well as commenting on what you may have found interesting or what you might want to hear about in future videos. Alright, that's all I have for this one. See you in the next one.